Hello and welcome back to the Cars Ireland YouTube channel. I'm Sinead and today we're going to be reviewing a car that, despite being made in the Czech Republic, feels more Irish than a shamrock on a pint of Guinness. It's the Skoda Octavia. A big hit since it arrived here back in 1998, the Octavia has been adopted and adored by thousands of Irish families thanks to its spacious interior, reliable reputation and being good value for money. Now, while it's not exactly what you might call the most exciting car in the world, each generation has seen it get better looking and more stylish than the last. And now finally in this fourth generation, they've given us what I personally have been waiting a long time for, which is a Sportline version. Previously reserved for the larger Superb and Kodiaq, the Sportline trim adds some slick exterior styling like these 18-inch alloy wheels, black window frames and grille, lowered sports suspension and a nice subtle little spoiler. And there's some more sporty bits inside, but first I need to show off what is possibly the Octavia's most impressive feature, which is its humongous boot. I will never fail to be shocked at just how much you can fit inside the boot of a Skoda Octavia. At 600 litres, it's larger than most SUVs, yet the silhouette remains so neat. I don't know how they do it. It's big enough to swallow up even the largest and most awkward of travel systems, which I can personally attest to. Plus you could add a couple of scooters and even a small dog, who should be happy enough back here because despite the saloon-like looks, it is actually still a hatchback. You've also got another couple of handy features back here, like these retractable shopping bag hooks, levers to drop the back seats from back here, a light to see what you're doing in the dark, and this one even has a fancy electric tailgate. So if it's boot space you're after, you really will be hard pressed to find more bang for your buck than what you get in a Skoda Octavia. Now, if you're thinking that surely they must have stolen some of that space for the boot from the back seat, then you'd be wrong, because somehow it also has one of the most spacious rear seats in the class. Legroom, as you can see, is exceptionally generous, even behind a taller driver. That is set up in my driving position there at 167 centimetres, and as you can see, I've got more room than I'll ever need. And that should be music to the ear of family buyers too, because it means plenty of room to fit child seats, even rear-facing ones. It's got two sets of Isofix anchors and good wide opening rear doors, which again just makes life that little bit easier when you're trying to wrestle small people in and out. If those little small people have gadgets that they want to charge, they should be quite happy too, to see these two USB charging ports and a handy pocket to store them in while they hopefully take a nap and enjoy a few moments peace of what is a very nice cabin. So the Sportline features continue in here with a leather sports steering wheel, some black fabric sports seats and a lot of black piano inserts. It's all very subtle. It's definitely not as in your face as the RS styling, but still just enough to make it feel that bit special. Some of the more functional Sportline features include this very impressive digital cockpit and a 10-inch Bolero touchscreen infotainment system with Apple CarPlay, Android Auto and the good old-fashioned radio. It's a very good system to use, it's quick, it works and the graphics are quite nice. Although I will say that the Columbus nav system on the style model is even nicer again. Some other creature comforts include heated front seats, of which I am a big fan, especially as these colder evenings come creeping in because they're just so cosy. You've also got wireless phone charging, which now that I finally have a phone that can do that is just the best thing ever. So overall, a really nice trim level, although it does come at a bit of a premium. For context, the Octavia range starts at about 30,000 for the 1 litre petrol, whereas this Sportline trim is only available from the 1.5 litre petrol onwards, giving it a starting price of just over €40,000, which is quite a jump. Now, some of our younger viewers might not recognise what this thing here is. It's called a gear stick, and this is in fact a manual car, something that is becoming increasingly rare as the industry moves towards EVs. So let's see how this thing works and take it for a drive. This is the 1.5 litre TSI manual petrol. It's also available as a 1 litre manual petrol, or in both versions as an automatic mild hybrid. You've also got a couple of 2 litre diesels for the more serious mile munchers out there, and of course the high performance RS versions. So there really is an Octavia out there for every budget and lifestyle. But this 1.5 litre TSI, I feel, is a real sweet spot for those who maybe don't quite do the mileage to require a diesel but still want a bit more power than the 1 litre, something that's going to be comfortable on a longer spin and still offer decent fuel economy, which in fairness for a petrol it does at 5.8 litres per 100 kilometres. The Octavia, as always, offers a very composed and confident drive. There's a nice bit of feel from the steering, a nice feeling of balance to the car overall, smooth acceleration, quick response from the engine when you want to get it up to motorway speeds. And even though most modern cars with an engine are going to sound and feel a bit noisy in comparison to their EV counterparts, sound insulation in the cabin is good, and in general it's just a very refined drive overall. One thing I will say is that as much as I had longed for my Sportline version, I'm not 100% sold on the lower sport suspension if you're planning to use it as a family car, because as we all know, it's all about comfort there, and it can at times feel just a little bit firmer than it needs to be in that situation. But then again, it is a sporty variant, so those who are after a sportier drive are going to enjoy the more planted feel it gives going around corners. So I'm really just arguing with myself here, aren't I? So that is the Skoda Octavia, still brilliantly simple, massively spacious and endlessly practical. Whether the Sportline model is worth it, I'll have to leave that up to you. I do personally still think that the style model has a lot more to offer a family buyer, but whatever Octavia you do choose to go for will by default be a smart choice, because while it might have a slightly lower driving position than all of these new and trendy SUVs, it's also got a lower price tag and more space inside than most of them put together. Let us know what you think in the comments section below, like and share if you enjoyed the video, and hit subscribe if you'd like to see more like it. If you're in the market for an Octavia, you can browse a huge amount of new and used models on CarsIreland.ie.